5-0. Dochnal again with Merfolk. So he's going to try to put the pressure on. He's got some nice Merfolk. A lot of shinies, nice little Aether Vial there.
Yeah, looking at the Merfolk list, does he have anything different than that we haven't seen? I see one.
See anything crazy? True Name Nemesis, 2 copies of that in there. A card that is probably going to pick up in play. I expect to see a lot of that in DC, actually. As far as counter magic is concerned, because that's the big one in this matchup. He's got 4 Force of Wills, 3 Days, 2 Spell Pierce in there. And other than that, in his sideboard, doesn't really have a lot of hate. Relic of Progenitus is okay in this matchup, not great. So I don't think his Storm matchup's great, but he's able to steal 1 game, and we'll see if the Storm player is able to fight back in another one. His Curse Catcher is actually a pretty good card too.
All right, here's True Name Nemesis on the screen here. Pro player.
Yeah.
Actually, when I first saw this, I didn't think it was going to be a huge Merfolk stick.
Neither did I.
Yeah, because again, Merfolk, they don't really want to have 3-mana guys. They just want to go Lord, 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 and then have just an overwhelming amount of just gigantic Lords.
Yeah.
Obviously, being pro player, that's pretty good against a lot of decks. Storm, not so much. They could care less. You just paid 3 mana for a 3-power guy. But other decks that have Sword of Plowshares and removal spells and things they want to block your guys and etc. They're going to have a hard time against that creature. So. Nothing exciting about the Storm deck. It's literally the same Storm deck you see every time. It has the same sideboard composition. It's got Abrupt Decay, Slaughter Pact, Chains of Vapor, a Massacre, 1 Tromp Island, Carpet of Flowers. Made popular by Adam Prozac. I mean, he's not the first to pilot it, but definitely one of the most animated people to pilot it, if you will.
Force of Will going to take care of Cabal Therapy, as we saw Curse Catcher make Williams pay 1 more, which he chose to do. So not sure if he can go for this turn, but Dochnal only has 1 card left in his hand, which is a copy of Force Will. He's got a Merfolk creature in play. He's got an Aether Vial on 3 in play as well. See, Williams is going to play a Polluted Delta. Not sure if all systems are a go here or not.
Yeah, so let's see if Ant is ready to go off, because you always have to play cautiously against blue decks, don't you? You got to make sure you know their hand. That's why I play Forge, Detection Pro for perfect information. That's why you play cards like Cabal Therapy and Duress, and able to just see the hand. And Ant is one of the few decks out there that plays Duress, but does not play Thoughtseize, because you can pretty much care less about your creatures. And I always found that interesting. I think if I were to play Ant, I might change it a little bit, mainly because after board, there are some creatures that give you a headache. Aethersworn Canoness is one. Thalia is a big one. And those cards I would want to take right out of your hand. And if I had a Duress in my hand, I don't mind taking 2 life in order to see that. I know it kind of is counterproductive with their ability with Ad Nauseam to draw more cards, but still, sometimes you kind of need that Thoughtseize to pull one of those hate bears out.
Well, let's see if it's go time. You see he's got a Dark Ritual, got a Cabal Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond, Inferno Tuner, Bast of Flames. So I actually think it might be go time here for Williams, and he's going to start by casting Dark Ritual.
Yep. And
he's got plenty of cards in his graveyard, so that Cabal Ritual is going to have Threshold, and it looks like we are going off.
Yep. We have only black mana access right now. What is he going to do to get that red mana? I'm not sure.
Lion's Eye Diamond.
He has the Lion's Eye Diamond. Did not see that. Okay, so he has the Lion's Eye Diamond. This is going to be just a ton of mana. I've seen this deck go off many, many times, and he's going to play Lion's Eye Diamond here next in progression.
And the other thing he can do, too, is he can play Lion's Eye Diamond. Yeah, he can play Lion's Eye Diamond, that on the stack, cast Infernal Tutor, break it, all of those things that this Storm deck is known for doing. So LED is going to be put on the stack, 6 black mana floating. Looks to be the, I think that's the 4th Storm card for the turn. We've got so we had Cabal Ritual, we had Force of Will, we had a Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, and a Lion's Eye Diamond. So that's spell number 5. It's got just a couple more to go for a Lethal Storm.
With Past and Flames, it should be no problem.
Yeah.
All those rituals pretty much come right back, and not only are adding Storm count, but add more mana to your mana pool, and then he gets to cast the Infernal Tutor at the very end to get Tendrils.
Yep.
So he should he should easily just play. He can play Infernal Tutor and crack LED, and he'll get like another LED. It doesn't even matter what he gets here, because he's going to be able to recast all those rituals in his graveyard, and then recast the Infernal Tutor at the very end, and then cast Tendrils.
Yeah, the only thing that he's scared of right now is what's that last card in Dochnal's hand. Because he's only got 1 card left in his hand. And we saw him Force of Will, Cabal Therapy. So Dochnal was basically trying to represent that, hey, I've got something here. Now you're probably wondering what's the 1 card that he can have that actually matters. As you see, Lion's Eye Diamond is going to get cracked in response to this Infernal Tutor. 1 card that he could actually have in this situation that would be kind of a blood is Swan Song.
Swan Song would be, yeah.
Yeah.
But he does not, because he would definitely counter Infernal Tutor. That's pretty much a no-brainer card to counter when they're trying to go off here. So he's going to go get, it doesn't really matter what he gets here. He can get Lines on Diamond here just for free mana. That's what I would get personally. Just adding 3 more mana just in case you need it.
I see him going through his deck. Might want to get a ritual type of, or excuse me, a duress type effect. He's going to go with Ad Nauseam. That's a little bit surprising. He doesn't need Ad Nauseam to go off right now.
Definitely not. No, you just get LED, add 3 more mana. How much mana? He has 3 floating right now.
He's got 4 black and 3 red floating.
Oh, yeah. You just get LED here and you cast all your spells and get Tendrils them.
Oh, so now he's going for
He could chain a couple Infernal Tutors also, but there's...
this is very surprising. Doesn't need that by our map. Does not need that to go off.
No, the Ad Nauseam is definitely a last-ditch effort if you need it. You definitely don't use it for fun here. It's not something he needs. He can just simply go off with just his graveyard.
Yeah, that passive flames, the fact that he drew that would made it so that would be enough to go off. So again, a little surprising to see that, as now he's going to remove all the red mana from his pool. He's got 2 black floating. Depends on what he wants to have floating. So he's got 2 black floating. He's going to cast Past in Flames now. Yeah,
because again here, what's the Ad Nauseam for? He's going to do this. It's a key question. Because he's probably going to realize at the very end here. Now he has a card in his hand, so he actually can't Infernal Tutor.
Yeah.
To get the Tendrils of Agony here.
So here's a Dark Ritual. And the spell count now is high enough that Tendril's going to be lethal.
Yeah, it's way dead, yeah.
Now there's Cabal Ritual.
I guess he can therapy himself now. He might have to.
Yeah, he may.
Yeah.
There's a Duress.
Yeah, you can Duress him. Alexander see his last card in hand.
Yep, there goes my Force of Will.
Yep, irrelevant Force of Will.
He needs to make sure he has enough mana to go off here. This could get bad. Because he's only got black mana to work with here. Now, he's going to cast...
Did he cast Infernal Tutor?
He did cast Infernal Tutor.
He can only get Ad Nauseam.
He can only get Ad Nauseam. He can't get a Tendrils.
All right, so we're going to need to probably stop here in a minute because I think...
Yeah.
Yep,
he cannot get Tendrils because he has Ad Nauseam in his hand. And that's exactly what Dochnal pointed out is you have a card in your hand.
Yeah, so let's go back.
The only thing that he can get is Ad Nauseam. And he doesn't have an Ad Nauseam in his deck.
How much mana does he have floating? 4 mana?
4. And he can't cast Ad Nauseam. What a huge misstep here from Williams. Because they're not going to unwind the Infernal Tutor because it's a legal thing to cast.
Yeah.
And the card that he would reveal for Infernal Tutor is Ad Nauseam.
All right, well, I don't even know if there's any coming back from what he just did here because now he burned all the rituals in the graveyard. He burned the Passive Flames. He has a 5-mana Ad Nauseam spell out. However, he just can't even use it. Can't even cast it.
All he's got is black mana in his pool. He can Cabal Ritual himself for Ad Nauseam, but I think he needs Ad Nauseam to actually try to win this game now because what he can do next turn is, oddly enough, there are still ways for him to actually still win this game. He could draw Cabal Ritual or Dark Ritual next turn and just cast Ad Nauseam and then go off. But now Williams just has to pass the turn back. No Storm, no mana floating. And if you're Dochnal, you need to draw some Merfolk and get this game over with.
Yeah. I mean, Alexander has dodged probably a cannonball here.
Yeah. Just plays an island off the top and passes.
Because I think there are about 5 different ways Avery could have won this match. He could have Ad Nauseam if he wanted to go through it that way, but I think he, just got a little excited here on the camera and made a few missteps.
And just passed the turn back. So right now what's happening is Store player is being attacked by a Grizzly Bear.
Yep.
Here's a Ponder from Williams. So 1, 2, 3. There's a Lotus Petal, Polluted Delta, and a Brainstorm. See if any of those are worth keeping.
So he's thinking about it. He needs to refill real quick because as we know, he only has 1 card in his hand.
He has Ad Nauseam and a mystery card.
Oh,
right,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he's going to keep with Ponder. And the mystery card is an Infernal Tutor. So there is Polluted Delta, pass the turn back.
He could have also Infernal Tutored for Polluted Delta there. And then have the 5th land guaranteed, but
for Ad Nauseam.
Yeah, but I don't know if even that's good enough at this point. I don't know what the other cards on top of his deck were.
There's an island, and passing the turn back, so Dochnal can't draw a Merfolk. Going to sacrifice the Polluted Delta. Going to go down to 8 is Williams.
And he really doesn't need to actually on second thought because pretty much any card he draws here should enable him to cast Ad Nauseam. Unless he draws like a Duress or a card draw spell or therapy or something. So I guess the Infernal Tutor would guarantee he'll be able to cast it, but he would be at 7 life after getting another Polluted Delta.
Yeah, and obviously the farther you go, the worse it gets.
Yeah, luckily he already used the passive, or unluckily I guess.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to kill himself by flipping a 4 there. Tendrils would be the only 4, but the problem is you need to flip your tendrils
to win.
and to win. So I mean, it's quite a predicament.
Draw step looks like it was like a Taxian Pro,
which is probably the worst draw possible.
Yeah, I think you have to hard cast this.
You have to pay 1 blue here and cast it. So
I don't think you can afford to pay 2 life because your life is the resource now.
He does.
And there's a Silver Gill Adept that Dochnal can't cast, oddly enough, or Vial into play because Vial's at 3. Card off the top, I believe, may have been a land. It was a fetch land.
So he's going to be at 5 when he does this. I don't think he can do. I don't think you do it because you need. I think he's going to. I'm trying to think of just ways he can win this game.
Yeah, it involves.
You would have to flip a bunch of Lotus petals.
I was going to say it involves a lot of Lotus petals and
LEDs.
And LEDs. It involves a lot of zeros.
Yep.
And you can see as he scrolls through his deck, he's got a lot of 1s.
Yep.
Over there and a lot of 2s.
He actually has
tendrils.
Actually thinking about it, he has to try because the longer he waits, more life he's going to lose.
Yeah, of course he has to go for it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And he has to. Perfect is an understatement.
Yeah.
About what needs to happen here.
This is going to be one of those miracle wins if he gets through this.
Yeah.
So we'll see right now what happens. He's going to offer the cut, and then we're going to get to the nauseum. We're going to get real combo here. See what happens. All right. 1 damage. All right, that's a 5th of his life total.
Make it 2.
2.
Make it 3.
Yep.
Make it 4. And yep, he's just going to end up dying. There's a 5, and that is it. So Alex Dochnal is going to win this match over Avery Williams. And you can see that Avery understands that he let this one get away from him, making a mistake there. But sitting at 5-0 and having a loss there, we're in round 6 of 9 here, so there's plenty of time to come back. He can run off some more wins and still make top 8 of this tournament. So that's not going to end his tournament. If you're Dochnal, you understand that I got away with one there.
Got away with murder, to say the least.